They're gonna Timber, okay. Both teams, Newbee really prioritized the Timber. Before they picked up Mugi, they were literally like first phasing Timber. I mean, I haven't seen them play too much with Mugi, so I don't know if they still are, but they've always been a team that loved picking up the Timber at a very, very early timing. You know, Wizards incredible on the hero.
10 seconds remaining.
I think you OD, man. Like, it's such a good OD game. It's very good against the Timber, very good against the Ember. Your pure damage, you don't care about the Flame Guard, and then if anyone gets changed, you just Astral them. My only issue is it's not good against the Puck, so they can still Ember safe lane and probably put the Puck mid in that regard. Now the reason why it's not is Puck, well, OD very much relies on his abilities, so the silence is detrimental, and Puck's got a good laning stage as well. Just being able to kind of like phase shift and stop the cast animation of the Astral makes it a little annoying to play around. And it feels like the hero always pairs up well as the game goes on. Like any intel heroes, you're going to have reasonably good mana pool, but I think once you do get Hex on OD, then it kind of flips. But anyway, that's in that regard. Let's see if they do it. If they do, then it forces the Void Spirit to go on a different lane, either safe or off lane, which is maybe the one thing they're considering right now. Like, how do they want to actually put the Void Spirit, which is... It's really going to show Aster's hand right now with this pick. They don't have Last as well, which is an issue. This Timber puts him in an odd spot with their lanes. Like, do they... They have the A at least. You know, of course, the Ice Blast, great against your active armor, but you've got the Oracle to keep you alive. Maybe you can buy some time with, like, a Yule Scepter or something. Now, that's a hero that's good against Timber. That's nice. I like that. I don't mind it versus Puck. I know the Silence is hard to play against and a little bit of AoE abilities. I think Slark against the Dream Call is okay. The reason I say that, you can just break the coil, like you can pre-Dark Pack, break the coil, and then the stun, you don't worry about it. They do ban the OD, so not really surprised. But so Slark is okay against coil. You still of course take the damage, which is the issue, but even then the silence and the AoE damage is a little annoying. That's what Slark lacks. You know, Slark really likes versing kind of single target damage dealing heroes, and Newbee have a lot of AoE though. Like, even though it's good catch against the Ember, very good against tanky Timber, if Timber comes online before the Slark, you can zone him out. Pure damage is a lot and AoE damage destroys him, so Slark cannot play behind against the Timber. But these drawn out fights are going to favor Aster very much now, with the Slark getting picked up and kind of using the Ice Blast to the maximum there. The question is on what they think. They ban out the okay, so they're just got the, we saw last in the second game of last series, the Bloodseeker destroy the Slark. Now Leshrak's still in the pool, but if you go like Puck Oracle, I feel like that core duo on Ember Timber Lesh would be very odd. I think you'll, yeah, the heroes on Newbee are very flexible right now. I mean, it's interesting how they draft around them. Like, they have not a lot of kind of... Their catch is fine with the Puck Ember, but kind of stuns throughout fights is very lackluster, and I think Aster their control kind of might prevail here against... I say control, but it's just kind of the Shaman, actually, in Slark. They do go Shadowfiend. So we hear that's kind of multi-damage output with the physical and magical, very nice burst versus the Timber. If they do get the chain lockdown. The Requiem as well was a decent way to be able to chain lock someone, like with the fear afterwards. So what, Void Spirit's going to be played as a 3, they'll give it to XXS.
5 seconds remaining.
Can they... I think Ember goes fine in that matchup. I haven't seen the Void Ember, especially in safe lane, but Oracle's not the greatest laning support. You could TA, but I feel like it's very greedy. You might be a little slow with Ember TA. I mean, TA can come online... Oh, sorry, Ember can come online pretty decent timing and make a lot of plays, but... I think you're fine with this going for like a support here. They need a stun. Like, I wouldn't mind a Lion. They are. Alright, well, there we go. We called it at least. Alright. So what, Puck gets forced to a 4. They will go for the Mugi. Ember. My only issue is that they don't have stuns. Slark is actually decent into TA as well because you deal with refraction with one dark pack. So this is decent. What do we like? What do we like? I mean, Shaman AA is going to be food for TA, and they don't have great... Wait, I think BKB is so good on Newbee. Like, they might just hit a BKB timing and just be full stride there. Is this a good enough Slark game? I think SCCC can go off. They don't have ways to deal with the Slark. But I think if Newbee get the lead and continue that advantage, it's going to be very hard for SCCC to take fights into the Puck AoE, Timber AoE. Naturally, Slark good against Timber, of course, but like I said, if you kind of start falling behind, it's very difficult. TA's always been known for that kind of good lane matchup versus the Shadow Fiend as well, so this is going to be hell of a game, man. Wait, let's try and take a look at the heroes again when we get in. I haven't gave like a definite answer. Because this is, I mean, this is, I think, pretty wacky. I don't even know if wacky is the right word. It's just an interesting draft coming through from Newbee. Like, and the cause, I mean, even it's a what Void Spirit offlane. You know, we've seen XXS play some interesting heroes in the offlane. You know, they've tried the Ember Spirit a couple times, which is, I mean, Ember Spirit offlane. I don't really see anyone else do that, but the mid game timing is the big question. Kind of that 20-minute brawl. Like, who's gonna have the advantage there? Like, as soon as you drop Serpent Wards, Timber just TPs to the tower and protects it. Fire out. This is a tricky one. I'm gonna go. Dude, Void Spirit side lane is just so questionable, but I think the Slark's good this game. Like, I think if they can give SCCC a really good game, then he's gonna be able to. I mean, this is not the good. It's not the start we were wanting though. He's gonna end up getting first blood down bot. Wizard. Oh no. Oh, mate, I'll take it back. Never mind. I take it back. Oh, Fade. He might get brought down as well. And dude, another chain's gonna be up. Look at the damage. Oh my lord, what is happening? Wizard, a double kill. Not a lot of experience. You see how much minimal experience they give. 2 kills. He's 2 kills. He's on 26. I have to imagine same as Oracle. But all right, well, that's a good start for Newbee. If I'm not gonna lie, if draft aside, no, okay, let me rephrase this. I think Aster are probably the favorites going into this qualifier. I think with they have higher expectations with the team they have, and I think they're a better team as well. But and sometimes it's hard to kind of take that away when you look at a draft. Yeah, even TA can have a pretty good... dude, I'm 50-50. I gotta pick one though, so I'm gonna go Aster. Even after those 2 kills, I gotta pick one, so... This is a... so it's a Baboka? Ancient Apparition as well. No surprise there. Always forget that Baboka being on the 5 now and Fade on the 4, of course, but Wizard actually might fall here, he will. Dude, he didn't even Ether Shock. He just right-clicked him. Oh god, what is this game already? Oh my lord, 3 kills by a minute. Yeah, you blame the lag, brother. You blame the lag. Well, I mean, he doesn't have reactive armor, and I have to imagine SCCC has the essence, so he's just going to harass the crap load out of the Timbersaw, and there's not much Wikes he can really do. Because Fade's, I mean, you gotta remember that the Puck's base damage has been getting nerfed over time. I think it just got nerfed by 4 throughout the last patch, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, Fade's still, this Shadow Shaman, very surprised we don't see the hero too much. I think any supports that a good laning wise, like you have a way to harass people out, you have lockdown, you've got a nuke, you've got an objective taking potential. You know, that's why I think Venge was getting picked up pretty frequently, because of her toolkit. Was how to stun, minus armor, could take Roche, defensive ability as well with a swap, and also initiation. So yeah, I'm very surprised Shaman's kind of started to fall off, which is very interesting. But Fade is one of those few heroes, sorry, few players I should say, that does really like the Shaman, and it seems like they pick it up for him pretty frequently as well. When he can make plays on it, man, Fade's still this godly position for, like, even after Vici, you know, he's still having, you know, quite the performance, even though Aster haven't really been in that position where he can shine too much, like haven't been playing as many games, unfortunately. Let's see, so how's this top lane gonna work? Success with Evoke up against Faith and Mugi. So the Ember Spirit side lane, a lot of times you see them go for sometimes a point up in chains, just because you're kind of playing with another hero, so you want that setup for a kill potentially, and also you're not going to have as many Wizard. I mean, he's got a chains up, but kind of stuck in the trees makes it a little difficult. And now SCC. Oh yeah, one essence shift, perma baby. 2-2, so they're going to eat it up. Wizard, he got a double kill to start, but now all of a sudden still hasn't hit level 2 yet. Looks like Waxy does drag the creep wave around, so this will give him level 2 at least. Is he got any tangos? Oh, he's out. Wait, oh no. Or he's gonna just chain all the way here, but he might miss a fair bit out of this. Wax is making sure he keeps it at least static, but ooh, that's rough, man. He didn't have TP. It's a little. What's he missing? Alright. Well, he didn't even miss any. He got at least a little bit of experience there. Of course, didn't get the last hit, but that's nice. Now he's gonna have level 2, so that point of reactive armor will give him some survivability, but anyone got a bottle? Wait, what? Hang on. Can you just deny it or pick it up? I feel like it's... Okay, I'm not gonna bring it up. I feel like now he gets a full bottle, and that's questionable, but we won't talk anymore on it. So... They don't really... I don't think the Remnant's long enough stun, is it? Yeah, 1.2, so you don't really have a setup for the cold feet. It's kind of just the, you know, constant harass coming through. This is really interesting. I don't know if I should say it's greedy or not. Like, I haven't actually... I know some teams have been playing the Void Spirit off lane, and the hero can make a lot of plays early. So it's just interesting to see how they favor it. Like, it looks like he's going kind of the same, similar skill build with 2 points in the Resonant Pulse. Was it? Gotta be careful here. Just trying to steal whatever stacks they can. Slark's going to go for a second point in Essence as well. Kind of see this... against the melee hero, you like that second point just for the increased duration of being able to hold the Essence. Sometimes if you're against a range hero and you can't really harass too much, you want to try and max out the Dark Pack as soon as possible. Just it's going to provide you some potential to be able to fall back to the jungle if you do kind of get zoned out. And even if you don't, man, just... Still has that skill point available as well. It's all magical, right? Yeah, that's just the only physical. I'm kind of surprised he's holding a skill point in play. I guess maybe if they dive him, he needs that little bit of lockdown in the chains, and they don't have too much. Faith is... The Oracle can be a pretty aggressive support just with the amount of damage that Purifying Flames actually does. What? It's 2? That's interesting. Okay. So maybe you just don't want to... I mean... They're just going to go on Puck instead, I guess. I mean, you will have the orb up, but the root coming through, I should say the leash, is going to make it a little bit difficult to disengage. So, SCC gets another perma-agi. Really nice. I mean, they know they can't really kill Wizard because how tanky he is, and with a second point in the shackles. Now, SCC still got a little bit of stolen essence. It's going to try and get towards the northern side to anticipate at least link away, but looks like with the pounce off the mark. That's AQ. So this is interesting second point in Timber Chain. I guess that you kind of want the damage to be able to man-fight the Slark, and that's kind of the only thing I can base it off. Because the tankier you go, it doesn't really help. Like, Slark's still going to steal a crap load of your stats, which is always annoying. So just being able to man-fight, I guess, is a little decent. He does have double bracer along with the wand as well, so he's relatively tanky, 1k HP anyway, so... This is an interesting build. I mean, as an offlane player, I find it always intriguing on how they skill build and itemize, but SCC hasn't got this essence from that last kill. Of course, it ends up falling, but now they're going to get the chains. Pounce will be able to follow up as well, and he doesn't have too much mana to work around with. Mango's available, though, if need be. Instead, he'll just pop the one charges, so... A little bit of harass, just trying to steal whatever essence. Because I know, like, they can go again if they want to. Fade is falling a little bit low, though, but if they step up the mark, you see Fade's already kind of starting to position a little bit aggressively if they want to try and find... I mean, Waxy can just die here, yeah. Very lucky. Well, Timber Chain, they'll get the stance. Pounce is still there though. SCC with the Dark Pack. He's got to be careful though. Chain's not enough. They're forcing a lot of regen out, but now in the meantime, top lane Mookie trying to stay alive with the Slight will be enough to dodge some damage here. So we got a lot of aggression happening down bot. That's pretty much where all the kills have been actually, right? Yeah, all the kills considering, you know, Wizard and the fall from Aster. So a decent start for them, and they're giving a lot of priority to Slark. I remember, unfortunately hasn't been getting too many kills, but at least you have the permagi, I think, is the important thing. And Fade's also, he's a position for that. You give him something, he'll make it work. Like, we saw what he could do on Vici, you know, we're seeing what he's able to do on Aster. You know, we see he plays like FY, Yapzor, Crit. I mean, I can go through them, man. GH. You see what these position 4s are able to do when you give them some opportunity to get farm and some experience. And now Fade is, I mean, he's already level 4, 650 into the game. The issue is Slark's not really getting too much solo experience, but even then, it looks like right now, actually, Fade's giving him some, which is really nice. I mean, once SCC, he really wants to try and max out the, well, at least get level 6 as fast as possible. Mid lane, though, is going very well for Qian. I mean, 55 and 4. Kind of felt like the recent change, but kind of Dota... Oh, actually, give it a sec. Moogie. Just ran off the mark. Won't be able to connect on him, so Moogie's going to be fine. Hasn't even gone for a Searing Chains point, so find that interesting being in the side lane. But Qian's going to show up here. Fade on the backhand. He's got the shackles straight on top of the puck, however. SCC without the pounce won't be able to find Wizard as well. So that's another kill for Fade, another perma agi as well. Qian's able to leave that lane because he already pushed out the wave, and this is the great thing about heroes that have high amounts of deep push. And you see Shadow Fiend, you kind of just, you know, raise up the wave, go to the jungle. Oh, sorry, I thought they were Radiant creeps for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, it's funny. AQ though. Make it aggressive here. Destroying the trap, it should allow the Shadow Fiend to fall back, but... So, previously, the TA's always been a good matchup versus the Shadow Fiend. I think this has slightly changed with kind of how mid lane is playing a lot different now. You're kind of falling back to the jungle around 5, 6, just kind of flash farming the wave and then getting into the jungle as fast as possible. And, you know, we see this kind of maxed out raise. You know, we've seen it for a long period of time, but it's just more the fact that the first couple of waves are very important for the Shadow Fiend. And you see now with the change that you go for the raise level 1, you know, it always used to be questionable. Sometimes you want to go raise 1 to get that bottle faster, but the mango is being implemented, and also your own courier is so important, man. But we'll bring that up in a quick second here. Looks like we're gonna have a TP rotation coming through from the Shaman though. Try and put a little bit of emphasis onto the Ember Spirit potentially. They don't have the level 6 though, so XXS with the Astral Step is about to have it if they can give him solo experience here, which would be nice. They also don't want to reveal that Fade's not in the area, but I guess maybe this ward potentially saw him anyway, so... well, we got some time. Yeah, with the mangoes just being able to spam out, the fact that you're able to go raises level 1 allows you to secure that first full wave of experience and hit level 2 instead of going souls 1 and just getting pretty much everything denied by the TA. So I think that's why the matchup's very different now. But ooh, Ancient Apparition caught out, brought down, and now it looks like Newbee want to still get aggressive. Moogie doesn't have a point in chains though, so it's going to make it a little difficult. And it looks like Shadow Fiend instead. He's going to try and rotate top. They'll get an Astral Step forward. Chains on top of the Ember Spirit as well. The Flame Guard's not going to be enough to be able to keep him alive here. He's able to get the Remnant. Looks like thanks to the healers before Oracle ends up falling, he's going to be able to stay alive. So that Flame Guard, I think, protecting from one raise, and then it got taken away, but he didn't have that up for that little bit of time. At least they do find the Oracle. In the meantime, Baboka's going to go straight mid. But the only issue is you might just be food for AQ right now. Radiant, they're beelining it to mid, but they're not going to get... Oh, actually, Fairy Fire, Baboka. Might be alright. Qian's going to show up here. They'll get the Hex. Shackles fall up as well. Qian needs to sit up with the Razors. A nice silence will be able to counteract the Shackles at least for a period of time. But now Wyxie drawn away will make it. So they get 2 supports, but TA's still going to end up falling here. Oh, can he get the rune? Right.
Radiant's middle tower is
Who's got the...
attack.
Yeah, who commits for the bottle there? It's like, oh, XXS is weak. Now he's kind of going to go back to base. That's a little unfortunate because now Qian's going to get another rune as well. Lane's pushing in. He actually wants to stay to try and get this couple of creeps. Oh, okay, never mind. Shaman. There you go. Give him some bottle, some mana as well with the Arcane maybe. But, you know, laning stage going relatively well for Aster. The fact that, you know, SCC having a pretty good time. 4 perma agi was really nice. Wizard, though, the big thing is that if you can get a kill onto whoever's in the lane with the Timbersaw, it's very hard to come back to the lane because you just kind of stand here as a guardian, you kill their creep wave, and then you just tank the tower, and it's very hard to just man-fight a Timber with kind of a full creep wave and chakram as well. So You see, they're going to try and rotate AA. I mean, I don't know how they fight. Oh, Jeez, man. Yeah, it just goes to show how much damage it is early. And up top, though, they have control coming through XXS. Oh, a little bit late, however, on the Remnant. Wait, I think it connected on the catapult, actually. It must have. TA's having a good time, though. Even up that death, looks like AQ is going to go for the Desolator first item. So, really just wants to farm up as fast as possible. This is my big thing. I think Timber, a lot of side lane Timbers really want to try and take that tower as fast as possible and then go mid. And you see it's already 11 minutes into the game and he's unable to do this. In our Radiant, I mean, they're going to be the first ones prioritizing towers with a catapult wave along with the Serpent Wards and DD. This tower's just going to drop and we'll force a couple of heroes, but Timber is way too late. We spoke about in the draft that Timber, whenever a Serpent Wards is dropped, he has to be there to protect it, and he just didn't get there in time, and now Slark can just push out the wave. Doesn't really offer too much threat on the tower, but the fact that he's just going to be able to wave and then jungle, wave and then jungle. And now this is Timber in a useless lane now as well, with the tower already dead, but Void Spirit. Nice control from Waxy will be able to bring him down. I do have the numbers advantage right now, actually, on Dire. But being able to take the offlane tower is not easy at all. You see Wizard, he's just going to try and get to mid lane. Wow. I don't know if I've seen a max out Timber chain. There is a lot of magic damage on Radiant. I mean, do you just go for as much damage as you can? And try and kind of... This is interesting. He has to go Hood, but... He's got double Bracer at least. He's still relatively tanky. Very interesting choice. We got the other Jelly as well, so it looks like TA did. So we'll take a quick look at the neutral items so we got the time. Keen Optic on AQ. Maybe it's just the mana regen is nice. I mean, I can't imagine she'll keep it. You know, whether you want to give it to the Puck or the Oracle as well. Just trying to get the False Promise off and play a lot more defensive. TA's getting up. Dude, she's flash farming. Looks like Shadowfiend's been making a little bit more movements, but here we go. They're going to smoke down bot. Or are they going to go mid instead, however? Qian's being shown. Fade is on the backline, though. Try and TP in a couple of heroes as well. Charges up the ultimate. Unfortunately, the silence is going to counteract that one. Nice little pick off for them. They bait the bottom lane push. Now they're just going to go straight mid with the Shadowfiend down. I love that movement. That's a great movement from Newbee. They either smoke up. If anyone shows bot, they smoke up and link up with the rest of the team. Someone shows mid, they get a pick off, force some rotations, and then take the tower. And now they can go bot as well. That's a great movement from Newbee. So now they're going to be able to take the T1 tower mid first before Radiant are able to. And now they're going to be able to get the second T1 tower for the game as well. And you see, even with this Desolator, AQ's still starting to ramp up the pressure. Broker does have level 6 though, and the Remnant Forward might actually be able to find him. Oh, but Broker... Oh, dude, they're not finding, but instead, Fade stuck in the trees here, drops the Serpent Wards, not really going to block anyone in now, but looks like the Broker's finally going to reveal himself. Ice Ball straight onto AQ, gets Refraction, but looks like that's going to get brought down here. Now Waxy's stuck out in the trees. Newbee, they'll lose 2. Full retreat now from them. They should be successful not losing anyone else. It's like Oracle, he's already out of there. Wasn't even at that fight, but alright, so they hold the T1 tower. Kind of a little bait coming through from Fade. There you go. So it's another Mask of Mana Shadowfiend as well. He did go for the attack speed this game. So a couple ways to deal with Templar Assassin. Damage over time, of course. Just the multiple instances at a fast succession is a really good way to deal with Refraction. Second way, I'd say probably... I'd go first is damage over time. I'd say second is then illusions, just because of how many attacks you are getting through at a time. So Phantom Lantern, Terrorblade, Naga, anyone else. Pretty much that's all of them. Third way is just attack speed. It's gonna, of course, naturally, like, it's pretty much works with illusions. Just the more attacks you get in a quick succession, being able to deal with the Refraction. So, I mean, I don't know this is why he's going for the Mask of Madness. It's a very interesting build on a Shadowfiend, considering. I mean, the lifesteal is pretty nice, and also it's just going to amplify that damage. But in a second, top lane, Fade. It's only by himself. There's a couple of reinforcements coming through, but they're going to take a little bit of time. They might be able to find Faith, though. Nice use of the Remnant. Whew, that's a lot of hate with that Ice Blast, so... I don't think this is why he's gone the Mask. I mean, we saw it last game as well. Last series, I should say, but... I am going to point out that attack speed is not the worst against the TA. Just, of course, faster attacks you get in there kind of deals with the Refraction, considering the only real damage over time they have is the Ice Blast.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Actually, how many... the cold feed's decent as well, actually.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Is it a
has
tick
fallen.
each second? So for 4 seconds? Okay, so even then it's not as fast as someone like a Viper or something like a Husker even, so... But I guess it is still a little minor
Radiant's
damage over
middle
time,
tower
but...
is under attack.
I think the BKB is still just very important from both teams. Like a lot of magical damage orientation, or at least spell damage, because of course Timber being pure. Oof. Okay. He's actually not going good, but lucky enough he does get the Nether Shell, so... He's going to reduce the armor, unfortunately, against the Shadow Fiend, which is a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, giving him some magic resistance, some spell damage as well is super nice. And they're going to smoke up and try and get some vision down, join this bottom wave that's already getting pushed out from Wizard, so a nice link-up smoke once again. Their smokes have been really good from Dire, but let's see if they can get something out of this, though. Because Xian still doesn't have the BKB. Ogre Axe, 1200 gold in the bank. There's also a Lotus Ult from Wizard, so...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Do you see him here? I don't see Waxy. Dire bringing the numbers as well. So in the meantime... Freeze, Mugi. He might... I don't think he ticks out here. He should be fine. So they're going to try and protect bot now. Ice Blast on cooldown. Coil in the backline, however, AQ is going to be able to shred the Shadow Shaman now. It looks like Shadow Fiend's going to be the next target as well. Unable to get the ultimate off. In the meantime, Astral Seaver's going to try and deal with the supports. Oracle forced to pop the false promise on his own devices here to keep himself alive. But in the meantime, now Wizard, a Timber Chain forward straight on top of Astral Seaver. But you got to be careful of the AoE right now with the silence. Stock, can he get the ultimate off? You will be able to with the last seconds. Going to try and TP out. Do they have the AoE damage? They do. Wizard's able to bring him down. 4 dead on Aster. They're going to lose the tier 2 tower as well.
Are fortified.
Even the numbers advantage without Mugi, they've just been giving him a lot of farm, and as an Ember Spirit that's able to come online at a pretty reasonable timing, I should say. Newbee making the movements happen, man. Puck's also got a Force as well, so naturally good against the Slark, and sometimes you see that. His Fate. Drop Serpent once here. He's gonna have to. Should have the damage with this. Yeah, he's gonna be able to. I was trying to do the maths with the one, but yeah, they're gonna have plenty of damage here. So that's a nice kill. Looks like he just got a little bit of vision on the high ground. Oh, actually, that's fair enough, I guess. TA Deso, they don't have any vision. Sorry, nothing to laugh about. Sorry. Like, I was like, maybe he's trying to connect up with the Ember, trying to remnant away and just predict, but I think it actually was, well... Seeing this medallion build starting to come into play pretty frequently, and also the Deso as well from Void. I mean, I think the Solar Crest is so good this game. You know, the Slark, if you can get... it very much relies on his Essence Shift, so the more attack speed you have is going to be able to, of course, amplify your damage. Naturally, of course, that makes sense, but the fact that it's going to be even more with the stats you gain. Is that a Dire? Yeah, it is a Dire Ward as well, so... We'll be able to scout that Slark. He should still reveal there's at least something in the area, so Baboka will be able to de-ward that. But in the meantime, 4,000 net worth lead right now for the boys over on Newbee. You know, leading all the departments right now. In fact, actually, Radiant, they're the ones with the probability, but I mean, it's very minor. Only 2% advantage right now. I should say 4, actually. Apologies. But even then, we'll take a quick look in the meantime while we get a little bit of a break. Oh, I hate how it does that sometimes. Dragon Scale's pretty nice on Mugi. He's almost got Maelstrom completed as well. And now it looks like Ember's starting to group up. Loss of a stone on the Ancient Apparition. Surprised they don't give it to Fade. He's very farmless. Oh, 6, 5, and 4. What happened? I mean, he's been dying a couple times. Looks like he's just kind of been baiting his life out here. But he's still getting a lot of farm. Puck's actually ahead of him right now with the Force. Brought up earlier that it's really good against the Pounce, of course. Being able to disjoint it. Disjoint the leash. And also just dropping the coil and then being able to... force someone out to break it. Very good. I love forced mobility, like blinding light, skewer, anything like that, to be able to set up, you know, with the rupture, with the coil. It's always really nice, especially if you do go the Ags. But you know, we're kind of speaking about the Timber effect this game, the AoE damage against the Slark. Like, until you kind of get BKB, it's very, very difficult for you to take fights. And you know, just the AoE damage, that's one thing Slark hates. It's kind of funny how you're a good matchup versus the Timber. You know, Dota's an interesting game, man. The fact that some heroes have better timings around like level 3 compared to other people. Some have better timings around level 6. Some are better in the early game compared to the late. It's so fascinating how one hero can get countered by, say, Slark counters the Timber, but early game you're not the greatest until you start getting a couple items. It's always fascinating how that's a thing. But AQ is going to be able to take ages here, so They're moving pretty fast right now before they're able to get the BKBs on Radiant. Looks like Shadow Fiend's got enough, but unfortunately SCCC doesn't. You know, maybe this is coming back to haunt them, the fact that he wasn't able to get... Fade. Find him out here, tries to... thinks there's a ward on the higher ground, but I guess just Spidey senses tingling for Ember. Fade kind of trying to set up and split out the map here, so... Kill for Moogie, and this should be enough for the Maelstrom now as well. In fact, they're still just trying to set up mid. I mean, it does go for the pipe as well for Wizard, so, I mean, rush Lotus... And then already has the pipe next as well with the Nether Shell. So it's a lot of magic resistance coming through. You 66%, man. Oof. Now you can also chuck up the Lotus Orb to, what, get rid of the cold feet. Dispels off the Remnant, but also, you know, really nice against the Shaman Initiation. Can you dispel the Requiem Fear? You can, okay. And here we go. I mean, top's already getting pushed in as well. So after the tier 2, they're going to go top and continue taking some objectives right now. Newbee looking very good throughout... Ooh, that was weird. Looking very good throughout this draft. A good performance from them, but Aster still, the BKBs are the big timing. Trying to make as much space as they can until they can get it. And looks like SCCC is pretty close, just needs the recipe until then. They have the Solar Crest now as well, which is super nice. I mean, not only for, of course, the minus armor that Templar Assassin is going to output, but like I said, just the bonus attack speed for someone like a Shadow Fiend or like a Slark. There we go. Last out of tower now for Radiant has been claimed. A 7,000 net worth lead. They're posturing up the higher ground as well. Wizards already got a fair bit of reactive armor stacks to work around with, and Radiant, they don't have this BKB yet, so they have got a delay. Okay, can they delay long enough? That's the question. As long as they can continue pressuring out. They're gonna pipe up the creep wave as well to try and keep it alive for as long as possible. And what's happening bot? They're trying to set up Puck. Aware of potentially something, actually. Fade. Yeah, I was gonna see, has he got blink, but no, he doesn't. We'll just get scouted at a second, so they're gonna know he's there, but about half damage on the tower here. BKB is now picked up on the Slark as well, so they're gonna have Aegis still for another 2 minutes 30, so still feeling pretty content from Newbee to make some plays. I mean, probably difficult to go high ground considering they kind of don't have the greatest initiation, like Puck no blink. I guess TA can start the fight and just hope they kind of group up, but you want to smoke up and try to take an engagement. Actually, Radiant, they're going to do this. They're going to wrap around. They do have a very nice ward in the area, so AQ is going to get scouted. I don't have any vision on the high ground. Oh, Moogie's going to run straight into the smoke here. Ice Blast setup is going to get shredded down, but Faith, no. Able to keep him alive still. There's no heals going to be coming through. However, Moogie, can he stay alive? Forced to pop the BKB now, but off to the side, SCCC straight on top of AQ. Lost the mana, losing the health as well, but remember, he still has another life to work around with now. Going to try and chase him with the backline. Moogie getting the heals as well. Do they pop any BKBs on Radiant? That's a big thing. They do not. So BKB down now onto the Ember. He didn't go Maelstrom. Wow. They do drop the Serpent Wands, a couple ultimates. I mean, Ice Blast about to be up. Serpent Wands mainly the longer one. Okay. I mean, you do see that the False Promise gives you some time, but you can't heal through the Ice Blast, of course. So it's an interesting matchup. Also, just pop the BKB from Moogie. It is a 10-seconder. And now kind of with this little bit of delay coming through from that Aegis timing, looks like they'll just use the rest of it to probably farm up, considering they will have BKB up in 20. They know Radiant smoked up as well for this engagement, so Aster might smoke again with the Aegis about the timeout, but how long have they got? They got a minute, so Serpent Wands is going to be up around that timing though. They might do it. Let's see. Newbee's still going to try and posture up the high ground here. See what they can find. They got a good ward in the backline. SCCC just hasn't scouted this out yet. Alright, nicely done. See, he goes in that little bit of kind of the cutout in the trees to make sure it's not in the area around this side. Of course, the difficult thing is it always can be a trap. But even then, 30 seconds now left. Surprised he's not holding sentries of his own. Yeah, he'll get it with where he's pinging. They might try and protect it now, but it looks like Dire have kind of just gotten out into the area. They got a telescope as well on Dire. Both teams got a telescope. I don't know if... Alright, I've got to bring this up, man. Is it still a thing? A lot of times, man, both teams, they almost always get a replica in each tier. You see, there's a shovel, there's a nether shell, and there's a telescope. Literally, almost every tier has one replica. And I mean, I know, yeah, there's not that many. I mean, you take a look, there's a fair bit. Like, the odds of being able to get it, It's always interesting. It honestly feels like that if you keep it in mind. Dude, actually, holy I gotta bring this up, dude. AQ's fat as anything. What? 17,000 gold. Second, or at least highest right now from Radiance is the Slark on 11,000, man. They got quite the net worth lead, and I mean, even then, is this enough for Newbee to really feel comfortable with taking fights? I mean, they know SCC's got a DD. They're also going to scout out another ward right now, so the vision's starting to disappear, at least for Radiant. Where's their sentry, bro? What the? How do they de-ward that?
A tool to teach.
What? Alright, have they got a gem? Dude, this happened last game as well. Where's their sentry? Because... was that theirs and it just expired? It might have been. Wizard. Let's get the disarm off, so we'll give him some protection here. It's very, I mean, Halberd is so incredible. Yeah, going back, I'm delusional. I guess it had to be the sentry. I know someone killed it, but must have just timed out. Oh no, so Slark got it. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's very minimal. So the Halberd is very nice in the Timbersaw. With the recent change to the Sunge, that's why we see a lot of lifestealers go for the Halberd now, just being able to amplify your lifesteal. It's very similar to the Timbersaw. I mean, a hero that's much reliant on your HP regen and how tanky you are, of course, is going to be amplified by the Heaven's Halberd. But I like this smoke. They're going to try and link up top, however, wrap around and cut off any retreat potentially. Do Ice Blast to try and scout out, but in the meantime, it's on the courier. It's an ultimate orb. Oh, looks like they're not going to take it, however. This could be... No, it's still a bit away from the Manta, but... Bikes is still in the area. Doesn't have the Aghanims just yet. XXX try and TP. Or the coil, though, will counteract this one. Looks like only the Void will end up falling here. The rest of the waves are getting pushed out. Nice to play from SCCC, but you got to be careful. Ooh, who's coming in the air? It looks like it's Mugi. Uh-oh, SCCC? Does he want another wave here? He doesn't have level 20, so he doesn't take it very fast. Dice still do have at least one creep wave to work if they want to go top, but I mean, I highly doubt they'll push out the high ground. Might be get a courier though. Oh, a gem! Oh my lord! Get out of there! Get out of there! Oh, that's a bit. Ooh, that's big. That's really nice. You see that die? I mean, they're losing way too much vision now because of the Slark, and they want a gem. And there's no, I don't see, there is a Glimmer Cape actually on AA, but I mean, no Shadow Blades, anything like that. There's just, yeah, it's a vision advantage. The vision game, they still have some decent wards. Looks like this just got placed. This one's also just got placed as well, but yeah, it's mainly just the fact that, you know, Slark's really been a problem the past couple of minutes at de-warding a lot of around the map. Do you give this the orb? I imagine Tichian, right? He was right next to you. Surely just give it to him. Oh. God, you have to make him work for it, don't you? But it's kind of just been both teams kind of getting whatever farm they can. Still see the net worth lead slowly increasing right now from Dire. Just the fact that they have all outer towers, they're able to play a lot more aggressively across the map, and they've got some decent pushed up vision. I mean, you saw the ward here before. They pushed it a little bit back in the lane, so... Oh, Rosha's not going to be up 40 seconds. Radiant, the only way they really have to scout out is the Vortex along with the Ice Blast, but this is a big wraparound. They have any vision available as well, so Baboka has one ward. They're just going to try and hold the high ground now, but Dire, they're going to make a similar movement. They're just not smoked up, though.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, well, SCCC is going to show. They'll just reveal everyone right now, pretty much, so... Dire are going to have a pretty good understanding of where Aster are positioning. Do they still want to continue the fight, though, and even walk up here? Without the greatest vision. Do they have any wards? Faith does not. Timber's straight on the high ground now. Gets a Lotus Orb at least, but SCCC is going to try and do it with Faith from the backline and make him use the ultimate on himself, but he doesn't. No buyback available as well. Core is going to get forced. Controls both the cores here, but Slark, he doesn't get the double back. Slark! No! Shredded down. AQ is going to melt through him directly. Might be able to keep the Void Spirit alive for a little bit longer here, but still, they're going to try and continue the chase. XXS with a blink forward from AQ. He's got the random Astral Strap still on cooldown now. Another trap though. XXS might be in a bit of a debacle here. Simulate. Oh, nice silence from YXC. They bring him down. If you're gonna run out of the coil, you got a Dark Pact. He didn't even BKB as well from Slark, so I love how Slark's playing it. I mean, hang on, let me rephrase. I love the start of that fight for Slark. You find the Oracle. If he ultis on himself, then you're fine with that. It means that it's an ulti for a support, and you can just keep right-clicking him and stealing all the essence. But the fact that you don't use BKB, you don't use Dark Pack as well if you're going to run out of coil there, puts you in a really bad spot. And now Radiant, can they defend Roche? I mean, Slark's down for 20, and they're just going to shred through it. And no, I don't think they can do anything about it. Aegis cheese now in the hands of Newbee, so all of a sudden a 17,000 net worth lead, an 18,000, 19,000. Gotta be exact. I hate it when you say a number and it just goes up as straight as you say it. Puck gonna get found. AQ with the point forward as well. Fade 2 hit by the Templar Assassin. Now Chian's gonna be careful. He just doesn't have the damage. The coil from afar. Shadow Fiend's gonna join him in the afterlife. Oh, AQ is way too fat. Oh my lord. The net worth difference is just... It's... No words can describe. It's just... AQ's having quite the game. This last pick Templar Assassin is really showing the power of it right now. And Newbee, they got Aster on the ropes. I mean, a 21,000 lead. At least they do have this repair kit. It's going to help out. Uh-oh, Void Spirit. He's committed to the viewers already. But I guess without the puck follow-up, unfortunately, Wax is a little bit far away. But you have to deal with the tier 3. How many repair kit charges do they have left? Looks like they still have 2. But they've just zoned out the Void Spirit. So they'll deal with the melee racks. They're going to try and go bot as well. Oh, the kit's going to be used. I mean, he's used all his Astral Step charges, though. So even when Shadow Fiend's up, he can't really do anything. And yeah, they're going to be able to get another melee as well. They should feel pretty safe with doing so. Slark's got an Aghanim, so he's going to buy out here. Still haven't seen that 10-second BKB. Full lane of racks, mid and bot. 26,000 lead. Probability now dropping down to 90%. All of a sudden, Newbee. I mean, they've been in firm command of this game for pretty much the entirety. I mean, Xian, he just... the fact that the first Aegis, Newbee were able to suffocate Radiant kind of in a portion of the map and really get some good vision down. Like, even though we kind of saw Slark D-warning a reasonable amount, it just got to the stage where, I mean, look at the level. He's 25 compared to 21's the highest. I mean, he's already got the Meld Hit Bash. This is scary. When you're able to BKB a backpack, so yeah, put the BKB in the backpack 32 minutes in. AQ's just a beast right now. It is just an absolute goddamn monster, and love to see just prioritize the Shaman. Burst down Fade, that's a lot of the control from Aster. Aegis still in the hands for another 2 minutes 30. Oh, S-Triple-C, coil off the mark, lucky. Quick pounce. They can try and hold the high. I mean, they're just gonna get suffocated inside the base and die. They're happy with this. They are still kind of, I mean, as long as they can kind of just suffocate them and increase this net worth advantage. See, what's Puck going for next? Looks like Lotus Orb from Waxy. They're alright, they're smoking out. This is the play. This is it. Waxy controlled up. AQ still on the sideline here if they can help him out here. Blink forward straight on top of Fade's going to be able to bring him down. A buyback available for Puck. It looks like Newbee want to take the fight though, but SRC has got to be careful here. Disarm's going to stop the physical damage output. He's able to get the pounce away, but it looks like now Void Spirit control. Can he get the Astral Step off? He can. He's going to dodge the Meld Hit Bash as well, but here comes Mugi. He wants to continue the chase. The BKB is going to get popped. And now with the Astral Step, it's still on cooldown. XXS won't be able to get it off. And now in the meantime as well, the Shadow Fiend just brought down just like that, and Aster forced to tap out. Newbee, what a game one. AQ. Whew. What a last pick TA. I mean, the matchup against the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend had a reasonably good lane. Not like you really stopped him from having a good lane, but boy, oh boy, AQ just kind of... He gave him the treatment, to say the least, this game. A hell of a performance, but that's not just on AQ. Like, you know, the fact that stacking for him... I actually don't know how many stacks they made. Let me check. I kind of want to check, actually. That's all at the end. Where is it? Yeah. They did a couple. So even then. But it just came down to the fact that the first Aegis is a big timing on TA. First Aegis in general, that's where you're able to take a lot of the outer towers. It's a lot of time first Aegis, outer towers, second Aegis, the one to end it. And that's what happened. Like, that's literally how it happened. And the fact that kind of Aster start getting suffocated inside the base, and even though it's a decent Slark game, I think the fact that I was very intrigued about Timber's skill build. I don't think it, like, I mean, he only died twice throughout the very start, but it comes down to the fact that you are a good matchup for Slark until it gets BKB because of all the AoE damage, and unfortunately Aster just got it a little bit too late. You know, they rushed it. You know, they went Mom and BKB on Xian, SCC went Diffu into the BKB as well, but unfortunately they just weren't able to get it at fast enough timing. Like, that's Newbee already had Aegis by then, the first one, and they were able to just take towers and just ramped up any of the threat. And I love how they played it. It wasn't as methodical, like it wasn't like a late game Dota game that we see when you really just suffocate someone inside the base, but they had such an advantage because how early they got that first Aegis. And it just shows the fact that TA last pick is, you can pick him first and you can win games, you can pick him last pick and it even has a better matchup. And honestly, just it felt, I don't know, I think the Void Spread off lane was very, it didn't feel like Void did a lot. Like, the hero is a playmaking hero to try and make space early, and you know they gave the start to SCC, but unfortunately it was just, it got to the stage where they couldn't, I felt like they couldn't make enough plays to try and get the BKBs at a faster timing, and that literally Newbee, they knew that before the BKBs they can just ramp up the aggression and get a massive advantage, and a very high emphasis on BKBs this game. But with that being said, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the prioritization we see come through. I think for the puck, honestly, 4-11, 4-5 and 11, but I think YXC had a really good game. I think the puck in general is just first phase material because of how flexible the hero is, and you're able to do anything with it. And I wonder if how the prioritization is going to come through as well. But game one, Newbee, they are one game away now from making it to the grand finals. Aster, you know, I said the same thing last series with Aven Girls. I'm going to say the same thing. All they got to do, nothing changes. They still got to win 2 games. They got to do it in a row now, but nothing changes. Still in their head. They got to win 2 matches. Let's see what they're going to be able to provide in our second matchup up against Newbee. Break won't be too long, ladies and gentlemen.